All right, so let's get started. Today is Wednesday, April 17th, 2024, 8 a.m. As always, let's start with news. And it seems that we don't have that much today. Actually, there's no news at 8:30. We do have crude inventories at 10:30 though. So we're monitoring. We're going to be monitoring that. I'm going to go through the daily charts in a minute to see where crude is positioned and also gold, which are the two primary instruments I trade, right? Then we do have 2 p.m. news, not really important, but we do have FOMC members, Mr. and Bowman talking today. And that would be it for today. But this one is actually after the market closes. Now, for tomorrow, we do have unemployment claims. So this one we are going to be monitoring tomorrow. 8:30 is going to be that news or that release, and then we do have more FOMC members talking tomorrow. And then let's check Friday. Actually, nothing on Friday. Pretty quiet week on news this week. Let's first before we go to the levels. No. I'm gonna go with the levels. Let's get this out of the way right now. So I use point and figure charts to go through levels and start. I start with gold here, and clearly we do have levels of support here and resistance in this area. So for today, we are a little bit narrower, marking this high right here as a resistance, 24.14, 24.15. You can even call it 24.20 and monitoring if this is going to break. But and there's if you notice here, there is a diagonal, a kind of a ascending channel there. But at this point, the support is above this 24.14. You can also take this one, right, as a level of breaking resistance here. I'm gonna mark it. I have it marked 24.14, 24.15. But be cautious of all of these drawings that you see in here for shorter term support, for the shorter term resistance. Now in the support, I'm going with that pivot high right here, which is also that one. And this pivot low right here, I would consider this one as an overshoot, but also you can take that one as a support level there. I'm going with this one, which is 23.85, and around that area. In the same situation here, right? You have an ascending pivot there. And then you have a symmetrical triangle in this case. So just make sure that you are cautious of all these other support and resistance levels. And yeah, so and then the next and then if it breaks this one, there's another level of support right here that you could consider. So there's plenty of material to work with in gold now. In crude, so I'm maintaining yesterday's support and resistance levels here. You see that there is, if we go historically here, we do have at this point, there's a bounce at this area here, but also there's a pivot low and a pivot low there, and there's a pivot high over there. So this one is an area of importance. I should actually move this one there. and move it there just to make sure that I understand that it's for today. And in the resistance, then you have that pivot high and that pivot low, and potentially that little pivot high there. It's the lower side of this range here. And so this one also, if we follow the rounded numbers, it's 86 as in the resistance and 84 in the support. It's check ES, and ES really did very, very rangy after this large couple of days move started here, and then that one and that one, a measure move for sure. So let's paint that one. Right, so you have a measure move 2 days in a row that went straight down. But now that has reached this level, stayed in between that level there, I would say that I was tempted to go with that resistance, which is actually a valid resistance there. But I look at the history here, and I saw these pivots over here. So I decided to go with that to give it a little bit of more room, but also because just that there is a 5120 level here of resistance, which seems to be important. But right after that and right above it, we do have that these levels here, and so it's 5130 is what I would call that one, 5130. And then this one here is actually the support. This support here. There's a little bit of overshoot here, but that one it would be, to me, it's going to be 5080, 5082. That would be the area. Okay, so 5082, 5080 to 5082, and then 5130. Okay. And let's check RTY. In RTY, you see that there is a level of resistance here, which is also this pivot low right there. And so same situation. I saw this one here overnight. That is a level of resistance, but it's not very well defined. This one here is better because you have two pivots, lows there. And then you have, so that one would be 2012. And then in the support level, I'm marking here, and I'm putting a little bit of overshoot considering this. This should be really 1966. Yeah, why don't we move it down there? 1965, 1966, and so we do have that one. But also, again, be cautious of this diagonal, right? In that one there, which is forming a bear flag at this point, to my opinion. Okay. Oh, and then finally, let's go back here and put in Q. And Q here is, well, levels yesterday. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a pivot high there. I'm gonna give it, since I'm a little bit more bearish on this one. Well, yesterday it was actually a sideways move, but since we are bearish, I'm gonna give it a little bit of more room. It should be actually the resistance level should be at this here, but since we are bearish, we could give the opportunity to to the price go to this pivot high, which is 17,900 instead of 17,980, 17,980 instead of this one. This one it's more well defined, right? You see that. So this one would be 17,930. I'm gonna leave it up here just to give a little bit of more room to move to the upside if it does. And then the support level here, also well defined, is this one there, and potentially that overshoot here. So this one I'm gonna mark it as 17,800. 17,800 because it's a rounded number as well. Okay, so those are the levels for today. Now if we move to the Renko charts, let's see what is the distance to them. So we have it up here, right on the previous day high. Yes, and then we have the previous low, the pivot low or previous low there, pivot point right in there. That's the pivot low. R1 is right above the previous high. And there is a significant pivot high and significant pivot low in there. So we'll see where it moves. Okay, in crude, which has EAI report today, it's moving sideways. Here is the support and resistance up here, way above, but it's been moving sideways, and it seems that wants to go back into this area. Okay, so, and then in ES, normally I don't do this, but I'm making an exception today. Sideways move in ES. See that it's a little bit of rebounds here. It's been moving in a bearish mode, previous days, but now it's ranging. Okay. Range is not really friendly with most traders, and the reason is that the technique is a little bit different to trade a sideways market than a trending market, right? So it's a little bit trickier to do it. And let's check the level. So you have the support and resistance here, resistance up above and support up down here. Pivot high, pivot low, and then bouncing, forming a bear flag right here so far. Okay, let's check the day charts in Thinkorswim and see where we are. So gold here, we've been doing, a nice run since March. Since March 25 when it broke here, and then the first day opening range has been moving all the way up here. There's a little bit of topping tail there, but it continues. Now we do have a doji. So if this one is a continuation doji or not, it's going to be determined today. Could be where it breaks again to the upside, or if it retraces a little bit to take and pause and move. So that doji there, I would say that it's important to define if it's going to be a continuation. So so we'll see. If it breaks above 24.15, then that would give me a better vision, or a bit better sight on what it's going to do. So we'll see. Now it seems that it's pausing. MACD and stochastics are moving to the downside and relaxing. In the intermediate MFC, we are actually also a little bit defensive. So it could come back to the 10 once more and then bounce from there. Crude has been moving sideways in a compression, still forming this bull flag there. So here is the flag and there is the pole. Then it has closed twice below the 10 simple moving average. So it has had some difficulties there to retake the uptrend. We do have higher highs and higher lows, and now we're looking for a base to determine the new run, but at this point has not happened yet. So we need to wait until and see if we do have this overshoot here. I would consider it an overshoot, but you do have a topping tail up there. See it clearly, right? And then in momentum, MACD is pointing down, same as stochastics, and the intermediate is also falling. So I would be careful still with crude, trying to look for a break to the upside here. Yes, bearish, in a bearish mode, very much into these 2 days which are, very bearish candles. Now, if we consider, there are a couple of things that you can evaluate here. And I'm gonna take this off, and I'm gonna go to make it more clear. I'm gonna go with a Fibonacci from here to there to see what is going to be the retracement. So here we are above the 23.6 in this big run here. There's a pivot there. Crude opens in 2 minutes. I'm a little bit behind, but we do have news, so we can be a little bit more patient on today's price action. And so we are coming back down here to a 23.6 level. Still bullish in ES, trying to create a very initially a base here. We are below the opening range, but and then we do have a crossing of moving averages here. So where the 10 is below the 30, and if we do look historically, what happened when that happens is, you have one there, you have one there, you have one there. So you can see that after that it tries to go in the direction of the crossing, right? So if in here you have a potential, it tried to cross to the downside, but it failed, and then had a nice run, and then went there and failed and move with a week or so moving to the downside. Now here it crossed it, and now it's forming a bear flag. We'll see what's happening. But in the MACD, we are red histograms, and then in the stochastics, we're also red, and in the intermediate MFC, we're falling 29.3. So difficult to know what could happen here, but I would say that we have some good possibilities of a little bit of a rebound here. We are in the lower side of this channel. Actually, this is the first touch, or no, this is potentially a pivot, right? It's not a pivot day. yet. That is what I wanted to say, because this one here to be a pivot, I have to have two candles to the upside, and then I can form a pivot there to connect this pivot here with that pivot there, and then forming a channel. But at this point, it has not happened yet. It has not happened yet. Let's go to NQ. Same situation in NQ. I cannot. I'm not gonna go over the whole thing, but you have same situation here in the candles, and same situation in the MACD. Actually, this one is now it's triggering there to the downside, and also you do have the intermediate MFC down RTY. This one is bearish as well. And then we do have intermediate, and this one is rising, but it's actually all the way down to oversold area. So I would pay attention to this one. It seems that it's oversold at these levels here. Could make a rebound. I do have this diagonal that we put 2 or 3 days ago when this pivot formed, and we'll see if it manages to go above this descending trend line. Then we probably are going to start looking at bullish again, but at this point it's bearish. Now forming a bear flag. Actually, most likely what could happen here is that you go to that diagonal and then fail and come back. Okay, so that's that. And let's check the time charts real quick on here, and I'm gonna start with gold. So gold, we are in pushing all times high. Remember that we talked about a pivot, not a pivot, a doji candle yesterday. It doesn't look like that clean as it did in the Thinkorswim platform. But we go looking for new highs if we go above the yesterday's high right here. And then in the 240 minutes is ranging. It's in compression, but bullish. In 60 minutes, also compression. You do have here a pivot high and a pivot low, significant pivot high here and significant pivot low in this area here. So we are in a range. And also in the 30 minutes, you see how now the candles are going to the downside, but we are very much in the range until and unless we go away of this range from formed yesterday. We are still in compression. Crude, as I said, coming back down in this bull flag. Still moving averages are stacking to the upside. In the 20 and the 240, we do have a compression. We are in between all of these moving averages. Spaghetti formation, I call it. So it goes up and down, and then it seems that it's trying to break to the downside, but we do have some good support at the 200 level there. We are just above $84. Tried to break, tried to move in the last hour to the downside, but failed, and then moved up, and now it seems that we are trying to make a bear flag here. But we are above the support level. So at this point, it could bounce and maintain the range in here. In the 30 minutes coming back down, triggering a bear flag at this point here. But we do have some nice level of support just below the 84 level. So be cautious on that. Yes, in a range after this break, it already moved to the downside, and now it seems that it's trying to form a bull flag, a bear flag. So potential move to a little bit to the upside, and then potentially coming back down. What happened to my levels here? Just 1 second. Oh, I extended it. I kept the last day there. I'm gonna put it here. It's a little bit more clear to me. Yeah, I didn't stream yesterday. I did have stuff to do in the morning, so I did not stream. I uploaded a Spanish video though, or video in Spanish. Okay, so let's continue with the 240s. Okay, so that's the level, and we are in very much in the range. In a range also, bear flagging on the 60 minutes, and also in the range compression, bear flag in the 30 minutes. So okay, and now in Q. 17,900, bear flag, range to bear flag. You know, after this large move, there's no reason to believe in the bulls at this point. But we are very much in a range, looking for a break of this support in a bear flag. In the 60 minutes, also bear flag in here in a range, so bearish, and then in the 30 minutes, same situation, very much in a range. There's a nice big topping tail there and there, another top, and a topping tail up here, a bottoming tail right there, and a bottoming tail up down here. So in very much in compression. In RTY, also in bearish, making a bear flag right here, forming a bear flag. So bearish, bear flagging also in the 60. If it manages to go above this, then we still be in compression. And then in the 30 minutes, also very much in compression as well, bear flagging. Then you see that there is a flag that is forming there with the pole down there. So we be looking for a break to continue the move to the downside. We'll see. Let's go back to the Renko charts. Confusion. So there's no so in the higher time frames in gold, we are still bullish, but this one is retracing. So we don't have confluence in between the charts at this point. And you know that you know how I am. I try to be cautious and look for best opportunities. Seems that it's triggering here at the opening. A move to the downside, but we are very much in a range here with an extension to each side. So this is what I say, that you have to be careful on trending markets that are in a range. What I would do in this case is to take this overnight move. I look at this and I said, okay, so there is a range in this area here, and there is an extension here to a pivot high. and a pivot low, which for me are significant, but it's in this case is also well defined because you have this one there. So this area here is a level of resistance. This area here is a level of support, and we are right in the middle. So since we do have this one here, I'm gonna draw it this way, and you see that market started to go to the upside from here, or started here in the range, came back, make a potential double bottom here, went up, made a reversal trend reversal breakout, moved to the upside, to the other side. And if you measure the distance, I'm going to put a measure move here, from here to here, you see that it went almost to the tick in this distance to that distance up here, right? So from that break to that break to that pivot, and this break to this pivot is about the same distance. So what I would look for now is to see if it going to visit this area again, and see if there is a trend reversal breakout formation when it got here, if it got here. Right now is in the area of the range. Hopefully that makes sense. And so for that reason, I'm waiting. And there's no news today. So so market seems that it's in compression here. See how it's taken that this line here, which is the opening day, the overnight opening right here. And it seems that there's a little bit of there is a little bit of support in this area. So trying to go up also, they're leaving a topping tail up there on this candle. Not significant, but price made a bounce and moved up, and now it's trying to continue. Now it's leaving a bottoming tail there, reacting to this to this level here. Nothing to do for me at this point. There could be a break of this level to the downside, continuing, probably trying to reach this green area. I don't have any of my patterns at this level, so I cannot trigger an entry. This would be if it bounces above this price of 23,400, around the 23,400. Then I would be looking for some sort of bear trap or trend reversal breakout to move to that level. Now the problem in here is that we do have the cloud above the price. So any price that or any movement that is going to go to the upside, in this case, is going to be from my point of view, could be a short live. But here you have a bounce off of that level. potentially is trying to go to the upside. Not this is not one of my setups. So what can I do? For me to go bullish on this one, should need to go at least above the 2400 level. At least, because I don't see any pattern here. And if you look at the 30 minutes, we are right at and a little bit below, but this candle is forming around the 50 SMA, which is this yellow dotted or dashed line right here, where you see the dots now. It's trying to break to the downside of the 50, but the 50 can serve as a support level, and still this candle has not been closed yet. So still looking at it. It's trying to trigger a pivot to the upside now. The momentum here is red. So a little bit of a pause here. And here is turning green. We have one red bar in the histogram, and then another one forming now. But as you see, it's not been very successful in moving to the upside now. This is not a pivot. It's only one candle to the right. It's trying to move to the downside here and break that that bar or that opening price. Nothing defined just yet. This one is a week off of the 30 of the 18. The 18 is this red bar, red line right here. So there's a bounce off of the 18. A little bit extended on the momentum. This one here is a week off of the 34. Another way to recognize a week off of the 34 is when you have a one white bar there in reverses, right? Because price has not gone far enough to form a second bar. Now it's triggering the week off of the of the 18 without me. I'm not taking this trade, and I will need to wait and see if this one is going to move down to this area. Since I'm bullish in gold, I may lose some good trades in retracement, but it's okay to me. Good morning, Matthews, and good morning, Faridi. Remember to like the channel or to like the video and support me on this on these videos. It would be great if we can increase the community here. And also remember that if you look in the description, there is a link to the Apex funding where you can get a discount on the on that prop firm. And okay, there you go. You do have a break more clearly now. It moved very, very fast. These 3 bars were formed very fast, which for me means that there are some stops. There were some stops there, and then they were taken very rapidly there. And so still we are in an area where we can have a reversal here back to this gray area. But we are waiting actually to go all the way down here and potentially revisit this pivot low, which is a demand zone. And as I was saying, so I use Apex as a prop firm to keep the risk of the trading low. And I do have also my own account, but I use these guys. And if you get an 80% discount, look at the description of this level of this video, and you will see the promo code, which is Renko. Also, it's in the bottom of this of your screen now. But the link is in the description. Okay, so keep moving down. It seems that it's confirming the move to the downside here. And it's moving without me again. Now, if I don't take a trade an entry, or that doesn't mean that you don't have to take it. But just be clear. Don't follow my trades. Follow your guts. Your what you see, not what I see. And it seems that it wants to visit this down area here. Take this drawing out. We are below the cloud. I always have to remind me where we are and look at all the indicators. So from time to time, or constantly, I'm checking, this level here, the cloud, the moving averages. You see that the moving averages are expanding here, and started to expand right at the open. Retracement to the 18 now. And if we go back here, this is the lower side of this area, right? The lower side there, and it seems that wants to go and revisit that one for a potential continuation to the downside. Yeah, for the withdrawals, you do have to. There are two periods within the month where if you have the minimum limit, you can take part of the money out, or you can take it all actually. But if you, let's say that you have a $50,000 a PA account, then if you go to 53, then you can withdraw the difference in between 53 and 5100. But if you are below that limit, then you cannot take. And it's there's a couple of dates or ranges in dates where you can withdraw. Well, everything is in the rules for this, guys. So go to the frequently asked questions on their website, and all the rules and how they pay and when they pay and everything. It's over there. So, and I'm not. Yeah, UProfit. I never went to UProfit. I think that back then the deal was not attractive to me. So I've been with Apex for a while now. Not giving details on that, but I think that they are doing a good job. See, now we are going into an area where we can have a bounce to the downside. We are resetting momentum here. Cloud is above us, and then we are trying to bounce back down and creating a wick off of the 34. Now we do have two white bars. And again, we are very much in a, let me put this chart again. We are very much in between that doji from yesterday. And so this is a range area that could in bullish, right? So if we are going to break below the 2376, let's say, or 2380, then we can look for more move to the downside. Right now, to me, we are still in a range. So very risky area to trade here. And I would be looking a break of the overnight low here, and even more a break of this significant pivot low, and that significant pivot high. All right, so it's the market is not doing that much now. It had a nice move at the opening, but really not doing that much. And until and unless it goes to this area here, to me in a range state, that would be more interesting. It's a week off of the 34. It's a week off of the 34, continuation here. And it's fighting back up and down. All right. Well, I'm going to leave the video now. 8:30. I would assume that you are Central Time then, Matthews. Yeah, 9:30. I'm Eastern, so 9:30 would be when the market opens, and um, yeah, I would need to wait on that one, even a little bit more. I let the market move, the first 5, 10 to 15 minutes to see if the market gets any direction. But in general, um, in gold, you can have very nice moves or directional moves within the first 20 minutes where the market opens. And gold opened at 820. The thing is that I don't like that this. I should trust on this one, but I don't like the way that the market is moving, but it's moving down. See, it's reversing, it's coming back down, up, down. Yeah, the opening was nice, but now the move happened already, I think, and I'm not bearish in gold. Hard to trade to the downside in gold at this point, I think. Unless I moved below the 10-day simple moving average in the dailies, right here. All right. Okay, I'm going to leave the video here. Thank you so much for watching, and see you potentially tomorrow. Thank you. See you next time.